Dean, everybody, unbelievable. I would now like to tell you some jokes about going bald, which I am, so I'm allowed to do it, by the way. I found out that I was going bald earlier this year, which is not a big deal. A lot of guys make it out to be a big deal. It's not. The only thing I've noticed is that I'm starting to lose some options as far as haircuts go. So I wanted to kind of like check those boxes before I lose it all. One haircut that I'm starting to lose out on is the mullet. Yeah, so the thing about the mullet is, for me now, it's like business up front, party in the back, right? But the business, it is closing. We are going out of business. Hit hard by COVID, no government support, and just staff leaving by the dozens is the thing. Every morning I shower and just staff in my hands, covered. You understand? That is true. I wanted a mullet, so I went and talked to my barber. I said I want to get a mullet. He said I know how to do that. And then we were chatting during the haircut, as you do. And I told him that I do stand-up comedy, and he goes, "Dude, that's awesome. You're gonna look extra funny with this haircut." I think he was trying to be nice, but I was like, "You're gonna look extra funny with no tip, so congrats, you did it." I don't like when people make fun of my hair. I remember distinctly in 11th grade math class, one time a girl said, "I will never date a man that has chest hair." And I was like, "That's me, I'm out, damn." And then it stuck with me. I thought about it for like 10 years. I was like, do women not like chest hair? Every single one of them? What am I gonna do, you know? But now I'm a grown man, I'm comfortable in my body, and I understand what she was saying, she might just not have known it yet, is, I will never date a man. No chest hair? Good luck, babe. Not even a wisp? I don't like your odds. Coming out of the first wave of the lockdown, I was going out for dinner, and I found that I was seeing things in the real world that normally I would be comfortable with, but now I'm like, that's catching me off guard a little bit. I was at this restaurant, and there was a mom, and she was feeding her baby, so she was doing that thing where you go, "Here comes the airplane," you know, you guys have probably seen this, and I have too, but for some reason it caught me off guard. I was like, I don't think she can do that, man. Feed her baby 9/11 style? I don't think, you know what I mean? I called my server over. I was like, "Garçon, can she do that?" It was a fancy restaurant. I was like, "Garçon," that's why I was so concerned that she was doing it. "Is she allowed to do that? Can she do that?" And he was very nice. He was like, "Yeah, sometimes, you know, you feed a baby like that. Here it comes, you know?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I know about that. Don't be condescending." What I'm talking about is then why did she go, "Now here comes the second airplane." Coincidence, maybe. Exactly 9 minutes later, I'm starting to think maybe not. Starting to think maybe not. Just feed the baby. They were twins. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I have found myself watching a lot of TV shows that I maybe normally wouldn't watch. I've been watching a lot of the show 90 Day Fiancé. Are we familiar with this? We've been watching it. So if you're not familiar, it's a show where someone comes from one country, they go to a different country, they have 90 days to get married to the person they're there to see, or they got to go back to their country. My girlfriend and I were obsessed. There's one episode where a guy from North America, he flies all the way to Russia to be there for the birth of his child, because he got a Russian girl pregnant, right? And so I'm watching it with my girlfriend, and she's putting the pressure on. She thinks that's the nicest thing on earth. Wow, he flew all the way overseas to be there for that? That's so romantic. That's so nice. Babe, would you do that for me? She thinks it's a hard question. It's an easy question. Babe, if you got pregnant, I would definitely fly to Russia. Dostrovia, you understand? And also, please understand, that joke is from before. So... wasn't me. And also, now that I think about it, even with this, I'm like, yeah, I still would. I would definitely, even more so now. Daddy got drafted, sorry. It's the way it goes, man. I did notice one thing about the war is that you see Ukrainian flags now everywhere on cars and people's windows, and it's nice. You're supposed to see that as like a sign of support, you know, like for Ukraine, which I do. That's how I see it. But the problem is that's how my brain sees things now. I was driving here today. I saw a car with a Brazilian flag off the back of it flying in the wind, and I was like, oh no, what happened in Brazil? Turns out nothing. People just live there. And they're proud of it too. Yeah, so as far as babies go, my girlfriend and I, we're not doing babies because the whole 90 Day Fiancé thing, that she didn't like that joke. But we are doing fur babies. Do you guys know about fur babies? Where you take a real baby and then you dip it in glue and you just blow some pubes on it. All right, cool. Sometimes the crowd will go, oh no, don't do that. But they're cool with like a standard tar and feather situation on the baby. It's what you guys thought at first. It's a dog or it can be a cat. We made the mistake when we were getting a dog of telling people what kind of breed we wanted to get. I thought I wanted a pug. I was like, I want to get a pug. And then immediately people jump down your throat and they go, no, don't get a pug. They have sinus problems. They go, they're kind of like a pig. You don't want that. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. I think I like a husky. I'd love to get a husky. And then people go, no, don't get a husky. They shed so bad and they yell. They go, I bet you didn't know that. Damn, I did not know that. But I do know that's crazy behavior. Like, you'd only do that for dogs. You would never do that for a human. Like, if my girlfriend was expecting, you would never come up and be like, you're expecting? Congrats, that's amazing. So happy for you. But what's the dad? Italian? Me. So yappy, those ones. That's like one of the yappiest ones you can get. So you don't want to forget about it. I know I'm not ready to be a dad because when you become a dad, you just get gross, you know? And not like physically, like mentally you get gross. Like my dad does this thing now where he doesn't park normally. Now he backs into every space. When does that happen? I got the nerve to ask him. I was like, Dad, why do you back into every space? And he goes, you never know. Sorry, mostly you know, right? I feel like I'm in danger now. You think there's going to be a plot twist in Bulk Barn? I doubt it. I asked my dad once, I was like, what was the hardest part about raising me? You know what I mean? I want to start to get ready about things that are going to catch me off guard about raising a son or a daughter maybe one day. And he goes, you know what was a real curveball? Was the internet. The internet came out, so that was a tricky one. And I can imagine, because it was coming out and we were just both choosing what we wanted to learn about at the same time. I remember he was like, I heard you can do your taxes on here. This thing's incredible. And I remember being like, I heard there's tits. Let me check this out. And turns out there is. I was never good at it, by the way. I remember the first porn site that I got caught looking at. It was just boobs.ca. I was like, I know what I want to see, and I want them to be Canadian, that's for sure. I love to support local. One time, I don't even know how to explain this one. I was just on pussy.gov.mb. What is on that, you know? I want to leave you guys with a bit of good news. There's been so much bad news lately. I like to leave some good news, a good taste in your mouth. This is my good news of the day. Is that I don't know if you've heard, but Britney Spears, she's free. We did it, Britney Spears. Britney's free. So what happened is me and the boys, right, we drove down to Ottawa and we just, and we did it. She's free, man. Turns out that's all it took. And at least that's why I was there. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for those guys. And now I feel embarrassed. I was doing interviews on the news where I was like, yeah, this is a great cause. I think more people should be down here. I give these guys 10 grand. I think we're gonna get the freedom we're looking for. She is free though. Britney is free. You probably didn't see this. She was under conservatorship, so she couldn't really do what she wanted for a while. And the fans, we said, free Britney. And now she's free. She can do what she wants. And it turns out what she wanted all along was just to post some nude photos on Instagram. That's what she's been up to. There's about 8 photos on her grid, and you can swipe through each. So there's like 24 photos, guessing, not counting, and they're all covered. There's like emojis, but we know what's under there. Nipples, probably, right? And all of her friends, Paris and Lindsay Lohan, they're all like, yes, queen, finally, you're free, you did it, you know what I mean? Feels like a bit of a double standard though, because if I wasn't doing well for a couple years, and then my first post back, my very first post was just me on Instagram going, helicopter, 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 helicopter. Dude, I hope not even my grossest friend would be like, finally, free king. The content we've all been waiting for. Listen guys, you've been a lot of fun. I've been TK. Thank you guys. Give it up for Dean.